Hello, and welcome back to another episode of Higurashi When They Cry, Chapter 1. I did 2. Chapter 1. Well then, Keiichi-kun, aren't you keeping something from us? Huh? Her tone didn't change, but it was the first time I'd seen this expression from Rena. Yeah, it's creepy as hell. With how her gaze pierced through me, I couldn't believe this was the same Rena. Aren't you? Lies or secrets? Aren't you? You are. Secrets. She didn't actually say that last part, but she looked as if she did. The incident with Tomitake-san and how I felt alienated from the group. Even without having to think about it, there were things I knew that I felt guilty about. But I didn't tell everyone about what happened with Tomitake-san to be considerate. I was keeping it a secret just the same way they didn't tell me about Oyashiro-sama. Then, aren't we even? No, I'm not. No lies. Nor secrets. Liar. Her answer was instant and it shook me. This is creepy as hell. Rena stared as if burrowing through me, watching me like a hawk. Why would you say I'm lying? Didn't you say that you were called into the teacher's room yesterday during the club meeting, Keiichi-kun? I know. You didn't go to the teacher's room. I swallowed hard. Hopefully that was picked up on the mic. It clearly wasn't a bluff. She knew what happened. The teacher said you had a guest, didn't she? But you didn't talk at the entrance. You talked inside of the car near the school gate. With some man we don't know. Rena knew everything. She knew that I was called out by Oyashiro-san, Oishi-san, and that I heard about the incident with Tomitake-san as well. Did she know all of it? Exactly who was that man? I don't know him. Why did someone you don't know have business with you? I wouldn't know that myself. Then what did you talk about? It has nothing to do with you guys. It was a lie. Oh God! Oh, that's creepy as hell. Lies! Rena's scream echoed through the trees, sending frightened birds into the air. I couldn't exhale the deep breath I had just taken. No, it was like I wasn't allowed to exhale. It was here I first realized the person in front of me, she wasn't Rena Ryugu. Then, who was it standing before me now? Who had assumed Rena Ryugu's appearance? I had held my breath for so long I could feel myself suffocating. Right? And then she made a facial expression that Rena normally might have made. It didn't matter that Rena's usual smile. It chilled me to the bone. She drew closer to me. I felt her breath against my face. It wasn't the least bit exciting. Whoever this was with Rena's face was going to chew my nose right off. I cowered as I imagined that. Then, she smirked as if she was able to see right through me. We also have secrets, just like how Keiichi-kun has secrets. It was Rena's usual smile, but her eyes were still like that of a hawk's. Bringing her face close enough to mine to almost bump into my nose, she kindly persuaded me. I could nod or shake my head. This person standing in front of me, this person who looked like Rena, frightened me to my core. I was terrified knowing that she could hear the sound of me swallowing nervously. After what had felt like an eternity, after a long, empty silence, she finally spoke. Let's go. It's getting chilly. It was Rena again. Smiling at me once more, she started walking as if nothing at all had happened. When I was released from her gaze, my legs gave out from under me and I slumped onto the ground. I wasn't able to lift a finger until Rena was out of sight. Who was that? I felt cold, my body drenched in sweat. I was finally able to form a coherent thought and ask myself once again, who was that person who looked like Rena Ryugu? Higurashi When They Cry. I was out of it and couldn't bring myself to do anything until dinner except stare blankly into space. I was terrified from Rena going off on me. No, was I terrified from Rena going off on me? No, that's not right. That was someone else who only looked like Rena. Then, who could it have been? It was a dreadful feeling, knowing that was someone else, not Rena. So tomorrow I shouldn't have a problem talking to Rena like I usually do. That thought was strangely comforting. I concluded that I should just calm down and clear my head, though those thoughts continued swirling around my mind. Finally, I returned to my senses as I heard my mother calling out to me from the bottom of my steps. Keiichi! It's a call from the bookstore! Oh, Michan. Uh-oh, bookstore. Can't think of why they'd be calling me. Mion. I went downstairs and picked up the receiver anyways. My apologies for calling so late at night. It's me. Oh, it's Oyushi. Okay, gotcha. I thought it was... Okay. Oyushi of the Okinomiya bookshop. Oyushi-san? Oh, it's Oyushi-san. Sorry. Since your parents picked up, I said it was from the bookstore. It puts people off when I say I'm a police officer. Oyushi-san was in his own way rather courteous. Even so, I didn't want my parents hearing me talk to the police. I brought the cordless phone with me as I dashed back up to my room on the second floor. Sorry for calling so late. That phone number on the piece of paper I gave you yesterday was the old number. My apologies. Can you copy down the number I'm about to give you? Ah, yeah. Okay. He gave me the number for his direct line as I wrote it down. I thought that was the end of it, but he began making pointless small talk, and it was pretty hard to hang up. So how has it been, Mayabara-san? Did anything strange happen recently? I see. This was the real reason. He really beat around the bush there. His adult conversational skills left me slack-jawed. Are you from around here, Oishi-san? Yeah, I am. Born and raised in Okinomiya. If he's from around here, he might know. Oishi-san? Do you know what this onikakushi thing is about? I believe that's when somebody suddenly vanishes because they've been abducted by a demon. It's a special saying from around here. It has the same meaning as spirited away, like everyone else says. Whereas my friends would say they didn't know when I asked, this older man gave me a direct answer. It made me a bit happy that he answered me directly without trying to hide anything. Hinamizawa was... not sure if I should tell you this, Mayabara-san. Don't try to play this off. If you're not going to talk, then I'm not going to tell you anything. No. That's not what I meant. It's just, it may make you feel bad. You see, long ago, Hinamizawa was feared as the village where demons reside. Demons? By demons, you mean those pitchfork-carrying things in hell? More like human-eating monsters. They'd go down to the villages, snatching people up and gobbling them down. That kind of tale. Demons snatching up people is what this onikakushi really means. They said that the curse and being demoned away happened together. What does that mean? I already knew about the mysterious deaths happening 5 years in a row, but I didn't know there were people disappearing for those same 5 years. The curse and being demoned away happening together? First time I've heard of that. Is that how it is, Mayabara-san? That's what I want to know. I heard Rena and Mion talking. They said that if it really was Oyasama's curse, then both the curse and the demoning away would happen. Oishi-san began hemming and hawing on the other end of the receiver. Maybe something about that came to mind? Mayabara-san, do you know the first incident? The murder by dismemberment? Yeah. One of the 6 perpetrators is still on the run, right? Hypothetically. What if he isn't on the run, but was demoned away? Huh? It was an outrageous hypothesis from Oishi-san. The incident 4 years ago was the particularly ghastly one. The police already knew the perpetrators, so they posted tons of wanted posters with his face on them. They stalked out various locations and investigated every possible escape route he had. But after 4 years, there wasn't even a hint of where he might be. Unless the police were completely incompetent. Even if it was an outrageous hypothesis, I couldn't simply laugh it off. Then, what about the incident the next year? When the man who supported the project and his wife both died in an accident? Well, actually, it was only the husband who died in an accident. His wife's body never surfaced. Unless we find the body, then it's considered a missing person by law. At the time of the incident, with the river below the cliff being muddy rapids, the police divers had searched every branch off the main stream of the river for dozens of miles, but in the end, they weren't able to find her body. But that's just them not being able to find the body. She's still dead, right? Isn't it different from her being demoned away? We cannot say someone is dead without their body. Until a certain number of years pass, by law, she's treated as still alive. I'm not sure if it was right to call that being demoned away. The wife is still missing. At least that part was reality. How about the third year? The Shinto priest died of illness, and his wife committed suicide? Mayabara-san, that's actually the exact same scenario. The wife had supposedly thrown herself into the bottomless marsh deep in the forest around Hinamizawa. Meaning, it's all circumstantial evidence. They simply found her suicide note in front of the marsh. A diver was able to recover a few remnants, but they weren't able to find a body. The investigative headquarters believed that she had faked her death and was still alive somewhere. I'm not sure if we could call these cases as being demoned away. It's just as you said, every year, one person does go missing. The incident this year, the woman with Tomitake-san, has gone missing. Then what about the incident with the housewife beaten to death? Who went missing? I believe the perpetrator was caught, right? Yeah, we arrested him. He was just a miscreant with a record of narcotics abuse. He admitted to the crime while being questioned about a different incident. But, well, you see, after he was arrested, a child from the victim's home went missing. It's still under investigation as to whether the disappearance had anything to do with the crime. But you said you caught him, right? Did he have an accomplice? No idea. It's considered a separate case. Moreover, we can't even check now, because while under investigation, that man, he died in his holding cell. He swallowed a spork and choked to death. It's not known whether it was an accident or suicide. Meaning, for the last 5 years, there's always one person who dies and one who goes missing. That's about right. No, actually, I'm surprised as well. I've never realized they had that in common. I couldn't believe that this could help lead to the closing of these incidents. It was just something they had in common. Could it be that those demoned away have something in common? Oyashi-san mumbled as he seemed to be thinking about it. So I summarized the events. The first year was a dam employee. Second was the wife of the dam project supporter. Third year was the wife of the Shinto priest. Fourth year was the victim's family child, and the fifth year was the victim's girlfriend, I guess. It doesn't seem like there's anything that connects them. With the exception of the first year, wives and girlfriends, those two stand out. It does seem like there are a lot. Then that means the fourth year's victim's child was different. It would have really stood out if it were all married couples, except it's not just married couples, but parents and children as well. Come to think of it, I believe Tomitake-san also told me the younger brother is alive and has moved, if I recall correctly. The child that went missing in the fourth year, who were they? Apparently, he was quite mature, 1 year older than you. His name was Satoshi Hoju-san! Oh shit! Alright. Oh, huh? Satoshi? I remember that name. Didn't they tell me Satoshi transferred out last year? He was at your school up until last year. Didn't they tell you anything about him? Come to think of it, when I transferred in, I believe they said my seat belonged to a recent transfer student. Then, where I sat once belonged to the one who was demoned away. It was his seat? I recalled the cold sensation that came from that desk. It made my hair stand on end. The string of mysterious deaths. No, Oyashiro-sama's curse. I now knew how it connected to me. That chilling sensation, it was the feeling of Oyashiro-sama's caressing the back of my neck. Oyashiro-sama's curse, huh? Could Oyashiro-sama's curse really exist? Oh man, I'm actually getting goosebumps too. In all honesty, I was beginning to believe it, and I was scared. That was why I wanted to say it was a plot crafted by man and not the work of a curse. But the more I dug into it, the less likely it seemed. No, the more I dug, the more mysterious it became. If I kept digging, eventually, I'd reach the point where I'd learned something I really shouldn't know. To either be none the wiser, or to seek an answer I may regret. Which one would I be happier with? Maybe it'll be me next time. My execution could only be delayed for 1 year. That was when I remembered. Rena. Rena said she may be the next victim of the curse. You mean Rena Ryugu-san? She transferred in last year, and she's your classmate, isn't she? These incidents really might be a bit too disturbing for a girl. She's not just scared, is she? It wasn't that. She said it might be her next. She said it in a way that made me think she had a concrete reason behind it. It felt like she was convinced, almost as if, you could say she was frightened. Her sudden change in demeanor. That someone who looked like Rena but wasn't Rena. That might be unrelated. All the strange things that I felt from Rena today came back to me. I see. Then I'll be doing a bit of investigating on this end. Please continue your observations of Ryugu-san, Mayabara-san. Are you asking me to keep Rena under surveillance? It's not what I mean, Mayabara-san. I just want you to watch out for your friend so she doesn't end up the next victim. At that moment, just as my mouth was agape because I was so impressed with his mature, clever way with words. Knock, knock! A sudden knock at the door sent my heart racing. In an instant, I had pointlessly covered up the end of the receiver. Keiichi, get the door, please. On the other side of the door, I heard my father's oddly upbeat voice. What could it be? It's so late. Sorry, my dad just came in. Can we leave it at this for tonight? Yeah. My apologies again for calling so late. If you find out anything else, please let me know. I'll tell you if I make any progress on this end. Well then, have a pleasant evening. Keiichi, hurry and open up. Daddy's got his hands full. What has he got? What is Dad doing? I had stayed in the same position while on the phone the whole time, so my joints were aching. When I opened the door, I saw my father was standing there with a tray. On that tray, cookies and 2 cups of black tea, a fairly fancy spread for our household. There was even sugar and lemon slices on the side, everything you could ask for. This was quite the show of hospitality. What's going on, Dad? What's all this for? Come now, don't play around, Keiichi. I'm coming in. Dad was in high spirits and had a smirk on his face. But for my entire life, I've never seen him act this hospitable. What had gotten into him? So, what were you talking about? I jumped. It's not something I had to keep from my father. But how could I explain to him I was talking to a detective? I'm assuming he was. This late at night. No, nothing much. Just a friend. I don't mean the phone. She was here, wasn't she? Who? Rena-chan. She wasn't here. Come now, don't try to keep it from me. She just came over to play. You two were chatting away, so I thought I'd bring her some tea, but it looks like I just missed her. I had no idea what Dad was talking about. Oh, God, this is so creepy. But a cold sweat dripped down my back. How long were we talking? Rena-chan went upstairs about half after, so it was close to an hour, I guess. You saw her come up to the second floor. Oh, she heard me talk to the cop. Yeah, I did. I also told her that your room was down the door down the hall up the stairs. Rena came to my house about an hour ago. Dad met her at the door and called out to me on the second floor. I probably didn't hear him because I was so focused on my conversation with Oishi-san. I didn't reply, but he knew I was in my room, so he had her come inside. Then told her my room was on the second floor. She thanked my dad and went upstairs. Then, about an hour passed. She passed by my dad just as he was bringing up tea and left. She came upstairs, about an hour passed. Then passed by my dad and returned home. Then, after she came upstairs and until she left, where was Rena? There's only a short hallway between my room and the stairs, meaning Rena had, for about an hour, in the hall. No, she couldn't have been sitting in front of my door all that time. The door to my room wasn't particularly thick. You could easily hear everything being said inside. All of the ominous things and all the nonsense I spoke to Oyashi-san about began rushing through my head. Honey, don't tease him. More importantly, you need to clean up your studio. It's a mess again. Mom yelled out at Dad from downstairs. Dad left the tray with me and went downstairs with a disappointed chortle. I followed my dad out of the room with my eyes. I looked down at the floor, around the hallway where Rena might have stood all that time. Just now, as I was talking to Oyashi-san, with my back turned, Rena was standing a mere 6 feet away the whole time. All that time, in this dimly lit doorway? What did she see? What did she hear? For what reason? As the steam from the 2 teacups ominously wafted and twisted, the aroma of the black tea filled my room. Whew, I received new tips. Notice from police chief. Alright. Let's quickly do that tip. Lies achievement. Oh, that shit. Whew, buddy. Alright. Notice from police chief. July 1st, 1982. To Departments 1 through 12. XX Prefectural Police Headquarters. Director General XXX. To the Chief Constable and all facility managers. Regarding cases situated in the Hinamizawa Village, notice. As cases in Shishibone City, Hinamizawa Village have been reported by certain sections of mass media, it has drawn global attention, which was causing serious repercussions for the local residents. This has become a very serious situation. To protect the livelihood and prosperity of the residents, the following notice has been issued. 1. Designate the following criminal investigations as classified. Okinimiwa Station 1982, case number X. Hinamizawa Village housewife murder, dated June XX. Okinomiya Station 1982, case number X. Hinamizawa Village student disappeared, dated June XX. 2. Non-disclosure of information. Okinomiya Station 1979, case number X. Hinamizawa Village site foreman murdered, dated June XX. Shira Station 1980, case number X. Shira Natural Park falling incident, dated June XX. Okinimiya Station 1981, case number X. Hinamizawa Village Shinto's priest wife disappearance, dated June XX. 3. Requesting self-restraint from each organization concerning the release of sensitive information. Please see attached the reference materials 1, 2, and 3. Management XX Prefecture Police Headquarters. Internal line XXXXX. Police Affairs Department XXXX. There we go. And so with that, that's where I'm going to end this episode. Hope you guys have enjoyed. Thank you for commenting, liking, and subscribing, and I will see you in the next one. Peace.